Hi, I'm here with Eugene today, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the importance of reviews and get a little bit more information on how reviews impact your business. And I've heard you talk a lot with clients about this, and I've heard you help a lot of clients with this. So I wanted to get a little bit more informative information on that. If you could elaborate.
Yeah, so the thing where we have to start with this topic is what the internet's evolved to today. You think about what happened 10, 15 years ago when people are looking for a business. They used to just like flip through the yellow pages, right? That's what people used to do. They'd flip through the yellow pages and be like, okay, this is the roofer that I'll call 10 roofers, I'll talk to them on the phone, and that's what I'll do. In today's environment, even if someone gets a referral to your business, let's say you own a business and someone gets a referral to your business, you're not gonna pick up the phone. Or they're not going to pick up the phone. Even if they just got a referral to your business, they're not going to pick up the phone. They're going to go online and do research.
Get a little more background on my business.
Exactly. They're going to try to get more background on your business. Now, what happens if that person goes online, and we actually have stats on this, I don't have the exact number memorized, but it's something like 91% of all consumers, before they ever pick up the phone, they're going to go online, they're going to search your business, and they're going to go do their due diligence. As part of their due diligence, of course, they're going to get a little bit of background. They're going to look at your website. They're going to try to figure out who you are, how your business conducts business, maybe get some ideas. But one of the things they're definitely going to look for is third-party validation. They want to know what other people think of you. Absolutely. Because with the internet, that's possible. In the yellow pages, that wasn't possible. You just basically wrote your own, you wrote your own ad. Now it's, what other people are saying about you.
So very reflective.
Yeah, and so what we've done is we've done some research, and it shows, what the research says is that last year, the typical consumer needs to see something like 5 to 12 reviews on a business before making a decision about whether or not they're going to transact with that business, especially a high volume business. And those reviews are a key part of a consumer's decision making process. And that's why having those reviews in place is just so very, very important. And third party validation, just because you posted some testimonials on your website, that's not enough. People need to review you on third party websites.
Now with so much competition out there, and it's very easy to research and look into other companies. What is something that's probably the most important? What do you do when someone has bad reviews, or if you yourself have bad reviews? How do you fix that?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, because we've helped a lot of companies in situations like this, because sometimes there's a great company and they may do like 1,000 transactions a week or 1,000 transactions a month, but you look online and their reputation is that they've got 7 bad reviews, or they've got 14 reviews and 9 of them are bad. Well, the reason why is because people don't, especially if it's a smaller transaction, whether they're getting a cup of coffee or maybe even they're getting a service. Maybe they're, but most people don't have a great incentive to go leave a review, right? They don't walk out and the first thing they got to do is write a positive review. So the people with the most incentive are the ones that are really pissed off and they really want to get back at you, and they just they want to just jab you. And
they're more apt to leave a bad review versus the positive.
Exactly, exactly. And then what happens is when people go online and they're like, oh wait, look, Jake's got 9 reviews and 6 of them are bad. Well, I don't want to be the I don't want to be the guy who stands out and leaves 1 good review while there's a bunch of 6 bad reviews.
Yeah, I don't want to be
I don't want to be the guy who like really stands out and does that. So there's kind of a little bit of herd mentality, a little bit of crowd mentality. So when you have a lot of bad reviews, people don't want to leave good reviews. When you have a lot of good reviews, sometimes people don't want to leave bad reviews, because then they'll be the outlier, the person who stands out. So that happens all the time, and there's a lot of interesting solutions for this. First of all, and I mean more often than not, the thing that works the best, we call it success tracking. Right, success tracking means you call people, like let's say you did 100 transactions last week, and let's say you've got 7 bad reviews online, but you've got 100 transactions that you did last week, and your manager is pretty confident that your store manager or whatever is pretty confident that of those 100 transactions, 98% of those people had a really positive experience. Well, get the names of those people, get the contact information of those people, and either have someone who is in your business and kind of like a third party, or have a third party give those people a call. And those people, when you hear
like a follow-up call.
Yeah, a follow-up call. Hey, just wanted to give you a call and see how your experience at ABC Business was and how things went. And as a third party, they'll start having a conversation with you. And while they're having that conversation, if they had a good experience, you listen, you have a...
let them open up and...
Exactly. You build a little bit of a relationship, show them that someone cares, and at the end of that conversation, you can say, some of the things that you've said are so nice, and it sounds like you get such a great experience, and it would be so valuable to ABC Company if you, Joe, could just leave a quick review, maybe 20, 30 seconds. Would it be okay if I sent you a personal email after this conversation and asked you to write just click on the link and write a quick review on Google or on Yelp or on whatever.
Right, and you make it easier for them too, so it's not like they got to go out of their way to do it.
Exactly.
You're actually sending them something to make it easier.
Exactly, and they could be, reading that email, instead of reading, whatever news, they could just look at that email, click the button, and 20 seconds later that you've got a positive review because you had that conversation, you acted like you cared.
And you showed that you cared so that now they care.
Mm-hmm. And what's interesting is that technique definitely gets a bunch of reviews, but there's kind of like a little bit of a stealth technique to it, is that if you get the person's permission, and especially if these are kind of slightly higher ticket sales, you can get the person's permission to record the conversation. And then you take that recording and you make it into a little bit of a video, and that video, it's just
a clip.
Yeah, it's basically
like a testimonial almost.
Yeah, exactly. You make the testimonial video, and then let's say it was a 5-minute conversation. Well, you make a 45-second, maybe a minute-long clip of this person, maybe just some nice sound bites of, this person said, the place was so welcoming and it's so nice. And there's another, and then there's a screen that flashes. What was the business owner like? Oh my God, the business owner was so nice and I really had a great experience. Did you feel like you got the result? Oh my God, I love the results that I got. And
it's more natural. It's not scripted.
Exactly.
It's not put on the spot. It's more natural. It's fluid. I like that.
It's a natural conversation, and the whole time, again, it's just an audio. And the video itself is kind of like, you can imagine a slideshow. It could be a slideshow of the questions that you're asking the person. Could also be a slideshow of different pictures of your business, different pictures of how you want people to feel, maybe results before and afters, maybe showcase some of the tough jobs that you've done.
And where you're going a little above and beyond
exactly
the typical review or testimonial.
Exactly.
I like that.
So what do you do with this video? You take that video, it's now a 50-second, maybe you talk to 20 people. Of those 20 people, you convinced, everybody said they'll leave a review, and maybe, 5 or 6 people left a review. So now you're up from 7 to 13 or whatever, and now you have more positive reviews. You're up from a 2-star to maybe like a 4-star or 3.5.
Now, does that start to push the negative ratings down too that have been left, or?
No, it's a good question. Typically reviews are sorted in what Google considers to be the most useful. So, sometimes it'll put the most recent ones up there,
okay,
and sometimes it'll put the ones from the people who have written the most reviews as the top ones. But the more reviews you do, obviously, the more opinions you showcase. So people obviously can make more genuinely valuable decisions on that. But here's what you do with that video.
Is the more descriptive better, or short and sweet?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I think it's genuine, just like you reading a story, right? If you read someone's story and if you read someone's review and it just said awesome, you're like, well, okay.
It's very basic.
It's a very basic. But if you, let's say it was for, for a health club. Let's say it was a review for a health club, and the person wrote out their entire, 4-page dissertation of their entire experience. I walked in, I talked to such and such person, that person led me, and it might even be a good review, but it's just like this full dissertation of, first of all, the longer the content.
Steps of the process of the experience that they had.
The longer the content, the less likely that it's going to be read in its entirety. The second problem with that is that if they had a very specific thing that they showed up for, let's say it was a health club and they showed up to lose weight, and then they had a great experience to lose weight. Maybe I'm going to that health club because I want to build a little bit of muscle, so I might not consider that review as valuable to me. So there's actually that's a great question, because too short is wrong, and too long is wrong. So somewhere right in the middle, where someone says, great experience, I walked in, they were super friendly, I met with the trainer, they were super friendly, I got the results that I wanted, I'm really happy with what I've accomplished.
That way it paints a picture too.
Right, it's a person who you believe is genuine enough. It's got to be long enough that you believe that the person leaving the review is genuine. But it's got to be short enough that it actually gets read, and it's not a 12-page dissertation. But if I go back to those videos that I was talking about, what you can do is you can take those videos and you can post them on YouTube, And when you post them on YouTube, you can tag them with a variety of different keywords. So you can tag them with the keyword of your company name, or you can tag them with with the keyword of your service and the geography in which you do that service, plus your company name. So what that does, it kind of builds two things. It does search engine optimization in some level, because videos typically get ranked higher than text content. And the second part that it does is when people do search for your name and they do see some negative reviews, they do see a bunch of videos and they'll be interested in clicking on those videos. And when they click on those videos, they hear the positive comments, and they're genuine testimonials, right? They're not scripted, as you were saying.
Exactly.
They're genuine testimonials, and then all of a sudden, you know, the image, the reputation of your company in that consumer's mind becomes better and better.
I like that. I like that. I think a lot of times when people look at ratings, I think the negative ratings are more impactful.
Yeah.
You know, people take that to heart more than they do the positive ratings. So the more positivity that they have, they might, you know, steer away from the negative ratings to determine the decision that they're about to make for purchasing or choosing that business to do business with. So that's important. I like that.
Yeah, I think one final thing that I would share with people is that do not neglect the review process. And you know, one thing I wanted to add is I love what you did once for one of our clients, where I think you worked really hard when you found there were a couple of bad reviews, and you know, you worked really hard to actually get those removed, because you know, everything we're talking about is just adding more positive.
Absolutely.
But you can get those removed too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's really good, I think, sometimes to, instead of just ignore it or get mad at it when you see a bad review, to really genuinely reach out to that person and reply back to them, or see what you can do to make them have a better experience with you. You know, see if you can get their contact number to reach out to them and have a conversation, see what went wrong, how you can make it right, or if you can bring them back in and show them that they're a valued individual and you want to provide them with the experience that they should have had the first time around, and find a way to make that better. I think that's really important.
I agree. I think a lot of people just get angry and they just like, oh, that guy's a jerk, and I can't believe you wrote that about me.
Right.
And they don't do anything.
They don't do anything about it.
Exactly.
And I see it happen all the time with clients. So I think it's really, really important to try to make, you know, a wrong into a right in that situation. And a lot of times you can get those negative removed.
And even turn them into positive.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like you
get
did
those
a couple
negative
times,
comments removed or flip them into a positive review. So I think that's really good.
Yeah, one final thing I want to add, and this is just for everybody, is if you think about reviews being kind of, it's not a one-time thing. It just, oh, I got a couple bad reviews, so I'm going to get a couple good reviews. I think every business should have a process, a documented, straightforward process where you have a systematic way to ask for a review after every single transaction. And if you're not confident whether that transaction went well or not, there's some software up there that'll kind of filter reviews in one direction or another, or you can write some custom code on your website. But bottom line is that you probably, if you genuinely believe in what you're doing, you should have a genuine, good, systematic process that consistently and effectively asks people to leave a review after they've transacted with you. Because, you know, in today's environment, maybe 50 reviews is kind of the, oh man, this guy's doing great because he's got 50 reviews. But think about, you know, what's going to happen in 5 years. 50 reviews is going to be like the guy who's kind of a joke. Oh, this guy doesn't even have a real business. I've only got 50 reviews. No, you know, if you start working on that now, if you start getting ahead of that curve now, you will be the most reputable business out there, and people will do business with you, and you won't lose business to competitors, and people will pay more and travel further to do business with a reputable company.
And it increases the morale with your staff too, because they know you're doing this, right? So they're gonna always be on top of their game. They're gonna always be trying to take the extra effort to really make sure that they're giving the best experience, the best customer service, or best interaction. And I think that's, you know, something that we've seen a lot with staff. You know,
that's a great point.
They change their attitude, they change their tune because they know they're on the spot.
Yeah, if people know that you're going to ask for a review after the fact, they're going to always put their best game, and they're always going to bring their best game.
You got it.
So I think this has been a great video. Anyone who's got questions, comments, suggestions, ideas, or requests for future videos, feel free to give us to send us an email or leave some comments below, and we'll see you in future videos.